Back kitchen. Diner, evening. The low hum of fluorescent lights vibrates against a cracked ceiling. Somewhere, a jukebox plays an old country song, muffled by swinging doors. It smells like burnt toast and grease. The clink of forks, the hiss of a fryer. Ben, 40s, stands hunched at the dish pit, steam curling around his tired face. His uniform shirt is damp, collar wilted, a name tag faded from 100 shifts too many. His hands, soaked and pruned, move rhythmically through hot water. Plate, rinse, rack, repeat. Behind him, laughter erupts from a table out front. He doesn't flinch. Another glass drops, shatters. He barely blinks. The camera lingers on his eyes, not broken but worn, like a song that's been played too many times and lost its chorus. Some people talk through their hands, some cry through their silence, and some, like Ben, just keep washing dishes, hoping life stops staining everything it touches. From his narrow view through the cracked porthole in the kitchen door, Ben can see the edge of the dining area. A waitress glides past, all energy and effort. It's June, late 20s. New here, hair tied back, apron crooked, balancing 3 plates on a trembling arm. Ben watches her the way you watch birds trying to cross highways. Not out of wonder, but worry. June smiles politely at a corner booth, where a well-dressed man in a pressed blazer checks his watch without looking up. She places his plate gently, says something soft. The man doesn't nod, doesn't thank her. He frowns, then pushes the plate away, disgusted. Customer. OS. Voice sharp. I said no onions. Are you deaf? Ben freezes mid-scrub. The clatter of forks goes quiet. June apologizes quietly, picking up the plate. The man scoffs. Customer. OS. You people don't listen. That's the problem. No pride. Ben's knuckles tighten around a slippery dish. The water sloshes, angry now. He doesn't say anything, but he's not blinking anymore. He's watching. His eyes lock on the man. His jaw sets like concrete. He watches the waitress get insulted by a customer and tightens his grip on the dish. Ben's apartment. Night. The door creaks open. Ben enters, his back hunched lower than before, a plastic grocery bag swinging loosely from his wrist. The apartment is small. 2 rooms, 1 dim lamp, and a threadbare couch with a folded blanket on one end. A little girl's backpack hangs on the wall next to a hand-drawn picture. A stick figure with Dad written in shaky crayon. Ben quietly closes the door and exhales. Shoes off, keys in the bowl. He tiptoes toward the bedroom. Bedroom. Continuous. The room glows from a tiny nightlight shaped like a cloud. Lily, 8, sleeps diagonally across the mattress, hugging a worn-out stuffed tiger, her blanket half off, her hair in sleepy tangles. Ben kneels by the bed, brushes her curls back. Ben whispers, Hey, trouble. I missed you. She stirs, eyes fluttering open. Lily, sleepy. Did you bring the marshmallow cereal? Ben, of course. You think I'd forget our Saturday deal? He reaches into the grocery bag, pulling out the familiar box. Her face lights up before drifting back into drowsy warmth. Lily. Can I stay home tomorrow? Ben sighs. Not tomorrow, baby. Gotta cover the morning shift, too. She frowns, turning over. Lily, Mom used to make pancakes on Saturdays. Ben pauses. The room stills. Ben, I know. I'm sorry. He tucks the blanket around her, tight like armor. Lily, it's okay. You're trying. Ben kisses her forehead. Stands. Kitchen. Moments later. He opens the fridge. Half-empty milk. 3 eggs. Quiet despair. A stack of unopened envelopes sits on the counter. He flips through them absently. Electric, water, rent. 1 envelope stands out. Red stamp. Final notice. Ben doesn't move. Doesn't blink. Some fathers carry love in their arms. Others carry it in silence. But all of them, they carry more than they should. He tucks in Lily and finds an overdue notice in the mail. Diner. Lunch rush. Next day plates clang. Waitresses shout over sizzles. A bell rings each time a new order slides onto the line. Customers fill booths, steam fogging the front windows. Ben stands at his post by the dish pit. Same posture, different stains. The weight of everything carried in his spine. Through the pass window, he watches the new waitress move awkwardly through the chaos, weaving around other servers, nearly bumping into the fry cook. She apologizes twice, flustered. It's June. She sets down 2 milkshakes. One tips slightly and she catches it with surprising grace. Her face flushes. She smiles anyway. Fry cook, grunting. New girl's got 2 left feet. Ben says nothing, but he watches. Staff room, mid-afternoon. June stands at the metal sink beside Ben, scraping plates into the trash. June sighs. That table asked if I was new to Earth, so that's a win. Ben half smiles. Keep scrubbing. Ben, they're always like that. Weekends bring out the worst. June. They didn't have to be so loud about it. I mean, I know I spilled ketchup on the baby. Ben chuckles. His first laugh of the day. Ben, ketchup's not permanent. Just say it's a blessing. She laughs with him. June. You always this quiet? Ben, you always this talkative? June, touché. A small beat of silence. It's not awkward. It's shared. June opens the cooler, pulls out a small leftover pie in foil. June. I saved you this, apple. Thought maybe you'd want something sweet tonight. Ben hesitates. His pride twitches. Ben. You didn't have to. June. I know. That's why I did. Ben wipes his hands, accepts the pie. He looks at her, really looks at her, for the first time. Not just another waitress, not just another shift. Sometimes hope doesn't knock. It just hands you pie and smiles like it's normal. Diner. Early evening shift. The tempo has slowed. The lunch chaos has thinned into the soft lull of dinner prep. The sun drips gold through the blinds, casting long slats across the checkered floor. Ben wipes down a tray of dishes. Movements automatic, but his eyes wander more often now, to the server's station, to the new girl. June balances a coffee pot in one hand, a notepad in the other. Her ponytail bounces as she moves. Her apron is smudged but tied just right. Ben watches her without realizing. June, OS. You watching me juggle, or do I have spinach in my teeth? Ben startles. She's standing across from him now, smirking. Ben, neither. You. Move fast, June's survival tactic. I used to bartend weddings. If you're slow, you end up catching the bouquet and the divorce. Ben chuckles, wipes his hands, tosses her a napkin. Their fingers almost touch. A beat. She grins. He nods, barely, and returns to his sink. But there's something lighter now. A rhythm building diner floor. Minutes later, June passes through the tables again, smiling kindly, jotting down orders. She reaches an elderly couple and gently refills their water. They thank her. She smiles softly, genuinely. Ben glances up from the kitchen window, just for a second. But in that second, they lock eyes. She offers a half smile. Quiet, warm, like it wasn't meant for show. Ben lowers his gaze, but not before one corner of his mouth lifts slightly. Sometimes the smallest smile across a crowded room carries the loudest meaning, especially when silence has been your only language for too long. SFX. Clank. A fork slams onto a ceramic plate. Customer. OS. Excitedly angry.
What is this?
I said no mushrooms. Ben stiffens. He turns his head, eyes sharp now, toward the dining room. June stands frozen near the booth. Ben's knuckles whiten around a metal tray. A customer slams his fork, shouting at June. Ben looks up. Diner. Dining room. Kitchen pass. Evening. The room tightens around the argument. Voices curl like steam. A few heads turn. Silverware pauses mid-air. June stands at the booth, cheeks flushed, hands clenched around a plate. The suited man leans back, chest puffed, The kind of confidence that smells like money. Customer, I told you no mushrooms. That's basic service. Are you even listening? June, soft, refusing to be small. I'm sorry, I told the chef. I can replace it right now. Customer, derisive laugh. Replace it? No, I want to speak to whoever's responsible for training. This is unacceptable, June swallows. Ben appears in the pass, towel over his shoulder, boots quiet on the tile. He doesn't storm out. He walks with the heavy steadiness of someone who has been stepped on for years, but kept standing. Ben, calm but firm. Sir, we'll fix it. Please. Let her do her job. The man's laugh is colder. Customer? And who are you? The dishwasher? Helpful. Real helpful. A murmur ripples through nearby tables. June looks at Ben, caught between fear and relief. June, whisper. Don't. Ben, eye level, low. She said she would fix it. Let her. The customer straightens, slides his hand slowly across the table like a cat showing claws. Customer. You don't understand how business works. People like you should know their place. A pause. The air thick as gravy. Ben's fingers tighten on a clean plate until knuckles pale. He steps closer until the edge of the counter separates them by inches. Ben. Quiet. Dangerous. People don't get to make other people smaller in my kitchen. The customer's lips curl. He leans in, voice a threat wrapped as education. Customer. Soft smile. You have no idea who I am. Manager's office. Minutes later. The tiny office feels even smaller with tension thick in the air. Cramped filing cabinets, a humming fridge, and fluorescent lights that flicker like nerves on edge. Ben stands in front of the desk, hands by his sides, shoulders squared, quiet, but the storm simmers just beneath. Manager, 50s. A nervous man with thinning hair and a clipboard obsession, adjusts his glasses. Manager Ben. I'm going to need you to step out for the week. Ben blinks once. No reaction. Ben, for what? Manager. Look, I understand what you were trying to do. I really do. But he's not just a customer. Ben, so I get suspended. For defending someone? Manager, sighs. You raised your voice, Ben. He said you made him feel threatened. I have to document that. A long pause. The silence feels heavier than shouting. Ben, you afraid of him too? Manager, you should be. You really should be. A knock at the door. June, still holding her order pad, cheeks pale. June. This isn't right. He was helping me. Manager. This is between me and Ben. June, I was there. He didn't touch him. He didn't yell. You're punishing him for having a backbone. The manager glances nervously at her, then looks back at Ben. Manager. I need your badge. Ben, you can collect your last paycheck Friday. Ben doesn't argue. Doesn't beg. Just removes his faded name tag. Places it on the desk. Ben, you'll be seeing more of him. That's the mistake. He turns, nods once to June, and exits. Hallway. Continuous. Ben walks through the hallway, past the clatter of pans and the hiss of oil. No one meets his eyes. June hesitates, then sets her pad down and follows. Sometimes silence isn't weakness. It's the last bit of dignity a man can hold when the world keeps pushing him down. Ben walks out in silence. June follows. Street corner. Diner, night. The neon sign buzzes overhead. Ernie's All-Night Grill. One of the O's is flickering. A few late-night trucks hum past in the distance. Crickets fill the quiet between car horns. Ben and June sit at a wobbly metal table outside. Styrofoam cups of coffee steam between them. A piece of pie, untouched, rests between two napkins. Ben stares into his cup, like it might offer an answer. His jacket is worn. His shoulders heavier now. June. You didn't have to defend me, you know. Ben didn't feel like a choice. June. Still, not many people do that anymore. A beat. The night air is thick with unspoken things. Ben, I've seen too many people look the other way. It eats at you. Quietly. June. Yeah. Like rust. Ben smirks faintly. The kind of smile that slips out by accident. June. I worked at a diner in Ohio once. Owner used to yell at the servers in front of customers. Called it motivation. Fired me when I cried. Ben, sincerely. That's not motivation. That's abuse. June. Well, they gave me a bonus in character building. They both chuckle. For a moment it feels normal, like neither of them carries the weight of silence or overdue rent. Ben, I've been working 2 jobs since Lily was born. She doesn't know I skipped dinner this week. Twice June, I figured. You looked at that pie like it was a sin. Ben felt like taking charity. June. It wasn't. It was pie. She slides the plate closer. This time he takes a bite. A slow crunch of tires breaks the peace. June's smile fades. Her eyes drift to the far end of the lot. Angle. Across the street. A black car idles beneath a flickering lamppost. The driver is shadowed, but the shape of his posture, the way his hand lifts a phone, it's unmistakable. June. Low, tense. That's him. Ben sets the fork down. Ben, he's following us? June doesn't answer. She just watches the car. Sometimes the price of doing the right thing isn't paid in that moment. It's billed in shadows later. June notices a car parked nearby. The rude customer is watching. June's apartment, night dim lighting. The kind of space that still feels borrowed. A mattress on the floor, clothes hung over a chair, a flickering lamp in the corner. June sits cross-legged on the rug, flipping through a manila folder. Ben leans against the door frame, arms folded, eyes wary but patient. June, quiet. You know, I've seen him before. Ben looks up. Ben, the suit? June. Yeah. That man, I swear I've seen him before he was screaming about onions. She pulls a worn notebook from her bag, flips to a page stuffed with scribbled notes and shift dates. June. When I was first hired, I came in through the back entrance, accidentally walked through the wrong door. Flashback, restaurant hallway. A few weeks ago, June, younger looking, nervous, holding a folder marked application. Stumbles into a narrow hallway lined with supply shelves. Voices echo from behind a cracked door. Man's voice. OS. These girls don't last. Keep turnover high and you keep leverage. Woman's voice. OS. That's not a strategy. It's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Man's voice. OS. We own the silence. Remember that. June pauses, listening, heart pounding. Suddenly the door creaks open. A man in a suit, the same customer, steps out. He doesn't see her, just adjusts his cufflinks, turns down the hallway, and vanishes into an unmarked upstairs office. Back to present June. I didn't think much of it at the time. Figured he was just some exec. But when he yelled at me, the way he looked at me, it clicked. Ben. You think he owns the place? June, or something bigger. Either way, he's not just a customer. Ben's jaw tightens. He takes the manila folder from her hands, scans the shift schedule, notes the security camera placements. He points to a blank space on the map. Ben, that hallway. Where you heard him. Is it taped? June. No, that whole section's dead. Ben steps back, pacing now, thoughts piecing together. Ben. He doesn't just drop by to eat. He's checking something, watching. The most dangerous men don't raise their voices. They lower them, just enough to echo without ever leaving a trace. Ben connects the dots. What if he's not just a customer? Ben's apartment. Morning sunlight seeps through dusty blinds. It's the first time in months Ben is home during the day. But there's no comfort in it. Just silence that feels misplaced. Lily, 8, runs through the narrow hallway in socks, a plastic tiara sliding off her head. Lily. You never make Saturday pancakes anymore. She says it like an accusation. but her eyes gleam with hope. Ben, softly. You caught me on a special morning. He stands in the kitchen, flipping a pancake in a dented pan. It lands lopsided, but Lily cheers like it's perfect. Lily, you should call in more often. Ben smiles, then hides it behind a yawn. She climbs onto a stool at the counter, swinging her legs. Lily, can we go to the zoo today? Ben hesitates, glances toward the fridge, where the final notice is pinned under a magnet shaped like a smiley face. Ben, not today, Bug. Gotta catch up on grown-up things. She frowns, traces her finger along the counter. Lily, are you mad at me? Ben, what? No? Never. He kneels, places a hand over her small one. Ben, conted. I'm just tired. Not from you. From everything else. She nods like she understands more than she should. Bedroom later. Ben sits on the edge of the bed, a cold cup of coffee beside him. His phone rests in his palm. Screen cracked. Battery low. He opens voicemail, automated voice, OS. You have 3 new messages. Click voicemail. 1. Hey Ben, just following up. No openings this week. Voicemail Therper 2. We appreciate your application, but voicemail Therper 3. This is a reminder that your payment is now 15 days overdue. He closes his eyes. The walls feel closer now. The morning that started with pancakes ends in quiet defeat. For some people, a morning off feels like freedom. For others, it's just an extra hour to worry. He checks his voicemail. No job offers, only bills. Park bench. Late afternoon. Sunlight filters through rust-colored leaves. Kids laugh somewhere in the background. But here, in this quiet patch beneath a skeletal tree, Ben and June sit shoulder to shoulder on a weathered bench. Neither says anything at first. They sip gas station coffee like it's sacred, the kind of stillness that only exists between people who understand unspoken pain. Ben, you ever wonder if maybe we're the problem? Like, maybe we take things too personally? June, no, I used to wonder that. Until I stopped pretending people like him don't enjoy making us feel small. Ben looks at her. The softness in his eyes is different now. Less curiosity, more respect. Ben, what happened in Ohio? June exhales slowly, pulls a hair tie off her wrist and twirls it between her fingers. June, I was 19, working at this flashy bistro outside Columbus. Waited tables, kept my head down. She pauses. Then, June, con tiddy. One night, the owner's buddy cornered me in the walk-in fridge. Nothing happened. I froze. I left the next day. Ben leans forward, hands clasped between his knees. He doesn't interrupt. June, con TD. When I told HR, they said I should be more careful about being alone. Next day, I was fired for lateness. Ben. They always have a reason, don't they? June. Yeah. Just never the real one. A breeze rustles fallen leaves across the sidewalk. A family passes with a stroller. The sound of a toddler's giggle dances through the air. Bright and untouchable. Ben, you still carry it. June. It doesn't leave. You just get used to the weight. A beat. Then she turns to him. June, Conte D. People like us always pay for standing up. Ben looks away, but not out of discomfort. Out of recognition. Some wounds don't bleed. They echo. And those echoes shape the people we become, even when no one else sees the bruise. She says, people like us always pay for standing up. Diner back entrance, early evening. A rusted metal door creaks open. Ben steps into the narrow corridor that smells like fryer grease and bleach. He wasn't scheduled today. Manager leans against the wall, clipboard tucked under his arm, as if he's been waiting. Manager didn't expect you to come in. Ben didn't plan to. You called. The manager gestures toward the break room. Ben doesn't move. Manager. All right then. Straight to it. I'm offering you your job back. Ben stiffens, but his face doesn't change. Ben, why? Manager. Because he asked me to. Ben blinks. That answer wasn't expected. Ben, wait. The customer? Manager, quiet. He said you were spirited. That the kitchen works better when it's steady. You're part of that. Ben lets out a dry chuckle. Ben, so he forgave me? Manager, let's call it overlooked. You want the job or not? Ben studies the man, sweat clinging to his hairline, eyes darting. This isn't generosity, it's control. Ben, what's the catch? The manager adjusts his glasses. Doesn't look up, manager. Just don't ever raise your voice to him again. A long silence. Ben slowly steps forward, close enough for his voice to drop. Ben, and if he raises his voice to someone else? Manager, that's not your concern anymore. Just keep your head down, wash the dishes, go home. Ben nods. Once, then turns around and walks back through the swinging door. Not toward the break room, but toward the sink. The sound of running water starts again, like nothing ever happened, but his jaw stays clenched. The worst chains don't clink, they whisper. You're lucky to be here. Just don't ever raise your voice to him again. Diner. Late-night cleanup shift. The restaurant is nearly empty. One booth left, a couple sipping milkshakes in silence. Lights are dimmed, chairs flipped on tables. June wipes the counter slowly, eyes drifting to the hallway by the restrooms. A door marked staff only. The same door from her memory. The same door the suited man walked through weeks ago. Ben, stacking plates in the kitchen, notices her gaze. Ben, low. You see something? June doesn't answer, just takes a tray of used silverware toward the back hallway. Her steps are soft, staff hallway, continuous. The light buzzes overhead. June walks past the mop closet, the break room, then stops in front of the unmarked gray door. She listens. Nothing. Gently, she tests the knob. Unlocked. Stairwell. Continuous. The door opens to a narrow staircase, carpeted, silent. She climbs carefully, heart in her throat. The kind of quiet that makes every breath feel like it echoes. Upstairs. Office. Moments later. The door is slightly ajar. Voices drift out, low, confident. Male voice, OS. Let legal handle the overtime dispute. No names, no apologies. Make them sign or fire them. June presses herself to the wall, barely breathing. Through the crack, she sees the suited man, now in a loosened tie, behind a sleek desk. Beside him, framed permits, a company seal. One reads, Kenton Holdings. Owner, Marcus Kenton. She gasps, barely audible. He owns the place. A printer hums beside him. Papers spit out. She catches a glimpse. Employee termination packages. Blank signature lines, June, V.O. He fires people on purpose. For sport. She backs away, careful, but her elbow bumps a cleaning sign behind her. Bang! The man pauses, looks toward the door. June vanishes down the stairs. Kitchen, moments later. Ben sees her burst back in, flushed and breathless. Ben. What happened? She just stares at him. June. He's not just a customer. He's the owner. Some monsters don't hide in shadows. They hide in suits and dining booths. She catches a glimpse of business documents. The man owns the restaurant. Diner, lunch shift. Next day. The hum of customers returns. Coffee brews. Pans sizzle. On the surface, everything is back to normal. But June moves differently now. Guarded. Watching shadows. Flinching slightly whenever someone in a suit walks by. Fry cook, to June. Table 6 asked for extra syrup. And, maybe a therapist. She forces a smile, nods, and carries the tray forward. As she walks by Marcus Kenton's usual booth, now empty, she notices something. A folded $20 bill under the sugar jar. She lifts it slowly. Underneath is a napkin. A note written in elegant, calculated handwriting. Some people don't belong in kitchens. Others don't belong at all. Her eyes scan the room. No Marcus, no one looking, but a cold sweat rises. Back hallway. Later June pushes through the kitchen doors fast, hands shaking. She rushes to the staff lockers, glancing behind her as if expecting someone to follow. She unlocks her small dented locker. Freezes. Inside, clothes torn from hangers. Her notebook, the one with all the shift records, pages ripped in half. Her water bottle leaks onto the bottom shelf. Her backup shoes are missing. June, under her breath. What the hell? Footsteps approach. Co-worker, early 20s, nervous, enters, sees the mess, and stops cold. Co-worker, you. Okay? June exhales sharply, shuts the locker. June. Did you see anyone come back here? Co-worker, nervous glance. No, but you should let it go. Just do your job, June. June. Why does that sound like a threat? The co-worker doesn't answer, just walks away. June's hands tremble. She leans her forehead against the cold metal of the locker. Threats don't always come with fists. Sometimes they come in silence, and in things missing that no one else will notice. June finds her locker ransacked. Ben's apartment, early evening. The sky outside bruises into dusky purple. Rain taps lightly against the windows. Gentle, but persistent. Ben stands at the stove, stirring a dented pot of boxed macaroni with half the butter and none of the patience. Across the small table, Lily doodles in a coloring book. She hums to herself, off-key, innocent, unaware of the storm behind her father's eyes. But he's not really cooking. His hand stirs, but his mind is spinning. The ransacked locker, June's shaking voice, the note, the cameras that don't exist. And now, he's supposed to go in tomorrow like nothing's broken? Lily, Daddy? Ben doesn't hear her. Lily, louder. Daddy. Ben snaps. What? Lily shrinks back, startled. Crayon drops. Her bottom lip quivers. Ben realizes instantly, and the shame hits like a wave. Ben softens. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shout. He crouches beside her. Ben, Conti D. I'm just tired, Bug. Not mad. Not at you. She looks at him with that innocent truth only kids carry. Lily. You always say that. Ben swallows hard. She's right. Lily, Conti D. You look sad even when you smile. Like you're pretending for me. Ben blinks back, emotion. Ben. Maybe I am. But I'm trying. For us. She wraps her arms around his neck. He holds her tighter than he's allowed himself all week. She whispers something into his ear, something he wasn't ready for. Lily. Whisper. Mom would have stood up too. Ben freezes. The pot boils over behind them. Children don't need to understand the whole world to recognize the cracks inside the people they love. Lily whispers. Mom would have stood up too. Ben's apartment, next morning. The sky is still gray. Rain has stopped but left everything soaked and cold. Ben opens the front door to grab the morning paper. Only there's no paper today. Just a thick envelope. No postage, no return address. Just his name, Ben Whittaker, scrawled in bold, blocky ink. He frowns, looks around the hallway. Empty. He brings it inside, peels it open. Kitchen. Continuous. Ben dumps the contents onto the table. A single photo falls out first. He picks it up. It's him. From the other night, at the diner. His face twisted mid-sentence, jaw tight, finger pointing. A blurry image, but clear enough. He looks angry. Ben's breath hitches. There are more photos. One of June, wiping tears from her eyes in the break room. Another of Ben and June sitting outside the coffee stand. Another, Ben hugging Lily at the school gates. He flips through them faster now, heart pounding. At the bottom of the pile, a folded napkin. Like the one June found under the sugar jar, Ben unfolds it. A single sentence. typed in bold, sans serif font. Keep your place, or lose it all. His fingers tighten around the paper. His jaw clenches. He looks at the photo of Lily, arms around his neck, eyes closed, trusting. His breathing slows, but his eyes darken. Control doesn't always roar. Sometimes it slips under your door when no one's watching and dares you to stay silent. Ben sets the envelope down carefully, like it's a lit fuse. A note inside. Keep your place, or lose it all. Diner, office. Midday. The manager's office feels even more claustrophobic today. A fan hums in the corner, doing nothing. The door is half shut, but the walls feel like they're listening. Ben sits across from the manager, who keeps glancing at the door as if expecting someone else to walk in. Manager. Low voice. Ben, I need to ask something. Unofficial. Ben leans back, cautious. Ben, you already got me back washing dishes. What more is there? The manager opens a drawer, pulls out a yellow notepad. Manager, this isn't from me. It's from upstairs. Ben doesn't respond, but his eyes say everything. Manager, quantity. They're watching June. They think she's stirring the pot, talking to the wrong people. You know how this place works. Ben scoffs but doesn't interrupt. Manager, quantity. All they want is to know if she's planning anything stupid. If she steps out of line, you let me know. Ben's fingers twitch on the armrest. Ben, you want me to spy on her, manager. It's not like that. Just keep your eyes open. Protect your job. Protect your kid. Ben's expression hardens. Ben. And if I don't? The manager shrugs. Manager. Then we reevaluate your place here. A beat, long, heavy. Ben nods. Once. Not out of agreement. Out of fear. He stands slowly, opens the door, and walks out. Kitchen. Moments later, Ben scrubs a dish harder than necessary, water splashing over the edge. His jaw clenched, shoulders shaking. June. OS. Everything okay? He doesn't answer, just nods without looking at her. Some betrayals come with daggers. Others come with clipboard smiles and words like protection. Ben drops the plate into the rack. His hands are shaking. Ben agrees, but looks sick with himself. City alleyway. Sunset. The world turns amber as the day leans into dusk. Trash bins line the narrow alley. Puddles reflect soft pink skies. Ben walks alone, hands deep in his coat pockets, face unreadable. His boots echo off brick walls. Every step lands with quiet memory. He passes a cracked mural, faded butterflies over graffiti. Stops, turns his head. Flashback, years ago. Same Alea. Younger Ben, hair longer, eyes brighter, stands laughing with a woman. Sarah, early 30s, radiant even in her tiredness. She's wearing a diner uniform too, her apron inked with orders and life. Sarah. You're late. Ben, I brought you pie. He holds up a slice in a paper bag. She grins. Sarah Ben Whitaker, the hopeless romantic. They sit on the steps. Her head rests on his shoulder. Sarah, Conte D. You know what scares me? Ben Heights? Sarah knows settling. Forgetting what it means to stand up for something. Ben, you'd never let that happen. You're stubborn. Sarah, promise me you won't either, not even when it hurts. Ben, smiling. I promise, back to present. Ben in alley. He stands in that same spot now, alone. A breeze tugs at the collar of his coat. His shoulders sink, and then he sees her, a flicker, a memory. Sarah leaning against the wall, looking at him. Not a ghost, not real, just memory made visible. Sarah, vision. Don't become what broke you. Ben blinks, and she's gone. Only the wind remains. He exhales slowly, the breath trembling. Some promises echo louder than guilt. Some ghosts return not to haunt, but to remind. A vision of his wife saying, "Don't become what broke you." Diner, supply room. Night. The restaurant hums on the other side of the wall, but in here, it's quiet, cold, smelling of bleach and hidden things. June slips inside, holding a small flashlight. Her hand trembles slightly, but her eyes are steady. Ben stands by the door, keeping watch. His eyes flick to his watch every few seconds. "June," whispers. He left his office door cracked after the delivery meeting. "I saw the folder on the desk. HR files." Ben nods. Doesn't speak. He doesn't have to. She already knows he hates this, and that he also knows it's necessary. Manager's office. Moments later. June moves fast, eyes scanning cabinets, files, folders. Tabs marked turnover, terminations, settlement notes. She pulls them into her bag, snapping quick photos of the contents. A list of fired employees, NDAs signed in exchange for quiet exits, email chains that say things like "make it stick" and "too vocal, remove after 30. One file stops her cold. Name: Carla V. Roll, line cook. Notes: pushed back against overtime abuse. Fired within 48 hours. June's jaw clenches. June. Quiet. They've been doing this for years. She turns the page, and there's another name. Ben Whitaker. Role: dishwasher risk level. Low note: unlikely to cause disruption. Avoid pushing too hard. June's fingers tighten. Supply room. Moments later. She slips out of the office, heart pounding, clutching her phone. Ben. Well? She shows him the screen. Photo after photo of quiet corruption. June. We're not the first. Ben doesn't blink, just exhales. Deep, slow. The way a man does when rage finds roots under his ribs. Rot doesn't always start at the edges. Sometimes it lives at the center, hidden beneath glossy surfaces and polite uniforms. We're not the first. Diner. Rooftop. Night. The rooftop is quiet. Just the buzz of neon from the sign below, and the rustle of wind against metal vents. A half-broken lawn chair sits in one corner. The stars are dim behind the haze of city lights. Ben stands near the edge, arms crossed, staring down at the parking lot. June emerges from the metal door, holding a thick folder of photocopied files. Her breath clouds in the cold air. She sets the folder on the rooftop vent between them. June. Everything I found. Dates, settlements, termination notes. Enough to get attention, if we're loud enough. Ben doesn't answer at first. He shifts his weight, eyes still fixed on the horizon. Ben, you sure about this? June, no. But I'm more sure I can't keep pretending this is normal. She opens the folder, flipping to one photo. A smiling waitress from 3 months ago, June, Conti D. Her name was Carla. She stood up for a pregnant coworker who got fired for performance. Gone the next week. No goodbye. Ben studies the photo, then looks up. Ben, if we do this, they'll come for you. Maybe for Lily June they already are. You think that note wasn't a message to both of us? Ben clenches his fists. Ben, I promised my daughter I'd fight for her. Didn't realize I'd have to fight like this. June, you don't have to. But if you do, I'm not walking away. A long pause. Then Ben reaches out his hand. Ben, then we fight together. June clasps it, firm, equal, unafraid. The moment you stop surviving alone is the moment you start reclaiming something bigger than safety. You start reclaiming your voice. They shake hands, nervous but determined. Diner, manager's office, lunch. Rush hits loud out front. Plates clatter. Tickets print. Voices blur. But in here, the manager's office is empty. For now. June slips in, swift and silent, holding a cheap USB spy camera, disguised as a phone charger. Her hands are shaking, but her focus is sharp. She plugs it into the socket behind the filing cabinet. tilts it just enough to frame the desk, just enough to catch the faces that sit in power and quietly erase others. She checks the angle through her phone. It's live. Kitchen. Moments later, Ben sees her return. Pretends not to look, keeps scrubbing, but his eyes flick toward her every few seconds. Checking. June mouths. We're good. Manager's office. Later that day. The room is occupied now. Marcus Kenton sits behind the desk. Loosened tie, coffee cup. He doesn't look angry, he looks calm. Too calm. A waitress stands across from him. Young. Nervous. Marcus. Polite, calculated. It's not personal. It's just not working out. Waitress. Voice cracking. But, I just got hired last week, Marcus. Exactly. Easier this way. You'll get a small severance if you sign. He slides a paper across the desk. The same NDA folder June found. She doesn't move. Marcus, Conti D. You don't have to sign. But if you don't, the reason for termination becomes disruptive behavior. You'll have trouble getting rehired. The girl slowly picks up the pen. Back room, later June and Ben huddle over her phone, watching the recording. Silent. Ben's hand trembles on his knee. Ben. That's the 5th one this month, June. He's not running a restaurant. He's running a factory that prints fear. Ben exhales through his nose. Long, controlled. Evil doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers in contracts, smiles during firings, and shakes your hand while closing the door behind you. They watch him fire another waitress unjustly. Diner, early evening. Rush, it's busier than usual. Every table full. Steam rising from the grill. A song hums low on the jukebox. Upbeat. But the energy in the air is sharp. Ben works silently at the dish pit. Movements measured. June floats from table to table. Smile rehearsed but worn. Then the door opens. A gust of cold air slithers in. And with it, Marcus Kenton, polished in a navy blazer, hair slicked back like nothing ever happened. He walks like a man who's never been denied anything, and he takes his usual booth. June freezes mid-pour at another table. Ben notices June, under breath. He's back. Marcus leans back in the booth, not ordering anything. Just watching, just existing loudly. Ben steps out from behind the kitchen window, wipes his hands on a towel, walks slowly toward the booth. He stands there for a beat. Ben, can I get you something? Marcus, smiling. No need, just came to see how the place is running. Ben doesn't blink. Marcus, Conti D. You're still here. Ben, you sound surprised. Marcus, not at all. People like you cling to the scraps. Ben's jaw tenses. Marcus, Conti D. The world needs workers who know their place. A few heads turn at nearby tables, sensing something under the surface. Ben steps closer. Not louder. Just firmer. Ben. This place is dirty. It's been dirty for a long time. Marcus sips his water. Ben, Conti D. So yeah, I'm still here, only till this place is clean. A flicker in Marcus's expression, something unreadable. Ben walks away. Marcus watches, but the smile fades just slightly. Some fights aren't fists and fury. They're words spoken without flinching. In front of the man who thinks he owns silence, Ben responds, only till this place is clean. Elementary school auditorium. Early evening, paper stars hang from the ceiling. Rows of folding chairs creak as parents shuffle and settle in. A hand-painted banner reads, Shining Bright. 3rd grade winter play. Kids in cardboard crowns peek out from behind curtains, nervous and giggling. Lily stands center stage, paper wings taped to her back, holding her lines tight in both hands. She keeps looking toward the entrance, but the door stays closed. Diner. Kitchen. Same time, Ben slams the sink handle off, unties his apron. He glances at the clock, 6:42 p.m. He grabs his coat from the hook. Manager, OS. You're not scheduled to leave yet. Ben freezes, turns to see Marcus, standing near the exit door, arms folded, watching. Ben. My daughter's in her first school play. Marcus. And we're short tonight. Ben. You said it yourself. People like me know their place. Mine's front row, cheering for my kid. He tries to move past, but Marcus steps in front of the door. Marcus. Think carefully, Ben. This is the kind of decision people remember. A long pause. The tension buzzes under the lights. June, OS. Hey! They both turn. June stands across the kitchen. She holds up her phone. Recording, June, Contadee. You really want him to miss his daughter's play for this? Marcus glares, steps back, slowly. Ben brushes past and heads for the door. School auditorium. Moments later. Ben rushes up the steps, breath fogging. He pushes the door open. Auditorium, continuous Lily, is midline. Her eyes widen as she sees her dad slip in through the back door. She smiles, so big it wobbles her crown. There are moments where a single decision becomes a child's memory. And sometimes, you get there just in time. June records the owner blocking Ben's exit. June's apartment, night dimly lit, curtains drawn. A desk lamp glows over a stack of photocopied HR documents and 2 old phones. One has no SIM. The other's battery blinks red. June sits hunched over her laptop, eyes locked on the screen. Ben paces in the corner, arms folded. His face is a nod of hesitation and purpose. Ben, once it's out, we can't take it back. June. That's the point. She pulls up the video file, the one where Marcus blocks Ben from leaving, where his voice is calm, but the power is unmistakable. She overlays it with a caption in white text. Father blocked from daughter's play. By the man who signs his paycheck, she exhales. Fingers hover over the trackpad. Ben, you sure about this? June. No, she clicks upload anyway. Diner, next morning. The restaurant is just waking up. A young busboy scrolls on his phone, eyes widening. He nudges the hostess. Busboy. You seen this? School parking lot. Same time mom in an SUV shows her phone to another in a minivan. The clip is already on Facebook, reshared by a local teachers group. June's apartment. Same time June refreshes the page. 2,200 views. Then 2,700. Then 8,000 Ben. Watching. That fast? June. People are tired of being quiet. She leans back. For the first time in days, there's color in her cheeks. Fire behind her eyes. Ben walks over, sets a hand gently on her shoulder. Ben. It's begun, hasn't it? June. Yeah, and we're not alone anymore. Sometimes the first crack is all it takes. And when silence breaks, the world listens. It starts to go viral. Diner. Midday rush. The diner buzzes louder than usual. Orders fly, plates clatter. There's an odd tension beneath the surface, like the walls know something's coming. June carries 2 trays with confidence. Her smile is lighter today, her steps steadier. She passes Ben, who's working the sink like a conductor, humming faintly to himself. Everything feels almost normal, until the manager's voice slices through it. Manager, OS. June. She turns. The manager stands stiff at the entrance to the kitchen. 2 men in security uniforms flank him. The room goes still. June. Yeah? Manager. We need to speak with you. Now. She hesitates, glancing at Ben. He freezes mid-scrub, watching her face shift from confusion to caution. Back office. Moments later. The office smells of cold coffee and ink. June stands in front of the desk. The manager paces. Manager. We received a report that you took cash tips from the register last week. June. What? Manager. There's footage. June. There can't be. I've never. Manager June, we have to take this seriously. June, this is retaliation. You know it is. This is because of that video manager. You're suspended. Effective immediately. He signals to the security guards. June's face drains. Diner floor, continuous. Customers pause. Forks hang in midair. June walks out between the two guards. Her apron in one hand, her dignity in the other. Ben watches from the pass window. His grip tightens around a serving tray until it creaks. She doesn't cry. Not yet. The truth will set you free. But first, it'll walk you through a crowd that no longer claps. Security escorts her out in front of everyone. Diner. Next morning. The bustle continues. Ben enters through the back entrance, lunch bag in hand, same routine. But something's different. The air is thinner. Conversations hush when he passes. Co-workers who once nodded now turn back to their stations. A cook whispers something to the hostess. They both glance toward Ben, then look away. Ben doesn't react, just heads to the sink. Montage begins. Ben scrubs a stack of dishes while two servers chat and laugh just feet away. Their laughter dies when he glances up. The tip jar by the register is gone. A customer points toward the back, and the hostess shakes her head. No tours back there anymore. The break room fridge has a sticky note. Do not touch. Property of management. Ben's sandwich sits untouched beside it. Someone accidentally spills mop water near his station. He slips but doesn't fall. No one helps. No one laughs. Just silence. Montage ends. Break room. Lunch hour. Ben sits alone at the table, shoulders hunched, eyes on the floor. He pulls out Lily's drawing from his jacket pocket. A smiling stick figure version of him holding her hand under a crooked sun. He sets it beside his sandwich, takes a slow bite. The ceiling light flickers. Once, twice, then goes out. He keeps chewing. In the distance, someone laughs at a joke he wasn't invited to. They don't always fire you. Sometimes, they just erase you one nod at a time. He eats alone in the break room, lights flicker off. Ben's apartment, evening. The apartment is dim, lit only by the flicker of a kid's cartoon on an old TV. Ben stands in the kitchen, washing a single plate. The sink drips. The silence between him and Lily is louder than anything on screen. She sits curled up on the couch, her knees pulled to her chest, blanket tucked around her small frame. But her eyes are full of something he's been too tired to see. She sniffles. Ben turns off the faucet and leans on the counter, drying his hands. Ben, you okay, bug? She doesn't answer. Ben, gentler. Lily? Her voice is small, like it's trying not to exist. Lily, why can't I invite Ava over anymore? Ben blinks. Ben what? Lily. Everyone else brings friends home. But you said not now every time I asked. Ben swallows. Ben, we're just tight on space, on time, on everything. She turns toward him now. Her eyes glisten. Lily, you don't smile anymore, and when you do, it's never with your eyes. Ben walks over, kneels down, meets her at eye level. Ben, I'm trying, baby. Lily, I know, but trying doesn't mean I don't feel it. He nods, lips trembling. Ben, come here. She crawls into his arms. Ben conted. I promise. It won't always be like this. Lily presses her cheek into his chest. Lily, don't break it. The promise. He doesn't answer. He just holds her tighter. Children feel the weather in our hearts, even when we swear the storm hasn't started yet. Ben, I promise it won't always be like this. Ben's apartment. Late night. The apartment is dark except for the soft glow of Ben's phone screen. Lily is asleep in the next room, her tiny snores muffled behind a cracked door. Ben lies on the worn-out couch, staring at the ceiling, phone in hand, mind racing. Buzz. A notification. Unknown number. No contact name, just a text. You don't know me, but I know what's happening at the diner. Ben stares at it. A second message pings in. You stood up. That took guts. He sits up slowly, thumbs hovering. Ben, typing. Who is this? 3 dots appear. Then stop. Then appear again. Name doesn't matter. What matters is I've been where you are. Ben swallows. His heart begins to pound. He switches to the app June used to leak the video. Cross-checks. No matching account. I used to work there. Same setup. Same threats. I left before I lost everything. Ben shifts forward on the couch. The air feels heavier now. Ben, typing. Why are you reaching out? A pause. Because you're not alone, and because I have proof you'll want to see. A file comes through. PDF format. Ben hesitates, opens it. The first page. A settlement agreement. Signed by Kenton Holdings. The payout, $4,200. The condition? Complete silence. Ben scrolls. More names. More payouts. More NDAs. His eyes narrow. Fingers tremble. Sometimes, the lifeline doesn't come from the people around you, but from the ones who already sank, quietly without making a splash. I have proof you'll want to see. June's apartment. Night papers cover the floor like fallen leaves. The coffee table is buried in open folders, screenshots, printed emails. June kneels in the center, sorting through them. Fast. Focused. Ben stands nearby, arms crossed, jaw locked. His foot taps nervously. He tosses the phone down on the couch. Ben. It wasn't just threats. It was money. Real payouts. Signed and sealed by Kenton Holdings, June. How many? Ben, 7 names so far, all gone within 90 days of hire. Every one of them signed NDAs. June holds up one of the HR files from her folder. June. I've got 4 more here. Same handwriting. Same settlement phrasing. She lays them side by side. Patterns emerging like bruises under light. Ben. What kind of company settles that many wrongful terminations? And no one says anything? June 1 with the right lawyers and the wrong power. She hands Ben a typed memo. He scans it. Ben, reading. Non-compliant employees must be transitioned with minimal exposure. Offer severance in exchange for silence. Ben's eyes burn. Ben, Con TD. They don't fire people. They erase them. June. They build a system where no one feels safe enough to speak. Until now. She pulls a red folder from beneath a couch cushion. Inside, pages she hasn't shown anyone, emails, internal memos, payout receipts, some blacked out. Most not, June, Conti D. He's been buying silence for years. Ben takes a step back, shaken. Ben, we're sitting on a powder keg. The truth doesn't always roar. Sometimes it builds quietly, page by page, waiting for someone brave enough to read it aloud. June says, he's been buying silence for years. Local legal aid office, late afternoon. The waiting room smells like paper and old carpet. The walls are lined with Know Your Rights posters. The clock ticks louder than it should. June sits across from a young lawyer, early 30s, sleeves rolled up, reviewing the stack of documents she brought in a tattered folder. Ben stands by the door, arms crossed. He hasn't sat down once. The lawyer finishes reading. Looks up, lawyer. This is real. It's dirty, but real. And there's enough here to open a claim, June. With just this? Lawyer. If you testify too, it becomes more than paper. It becomes a story. And juries believe stories. Ben shifts. Ben. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not brave like her. June, firmly. Yes, you are. The lawyer sets down the pen. Lawyer. You'll be risking your names, your jobs. They'll come after your credibility. June looks at Ben. He meets her eyes. Not with fear, but with something steadier, something earned. Ben, she's already lost hers. I'm next in line. Might as well go down fighting. Lawyer. I'll draft the claim. It'll go public once filed. You still in? June leans forward. Doesn't blink. June. If we go down, we go down loud. Diner. Late evening. Marcus walks through the dining room, adjusting his tie, greeting regulars with a practiced smile. Back in the office, an envelope is slipped under his door. He picks it up, reads, "Intent to file. Hostile workplace and unlawful termination." He frowns. There's a moment, just before the storm, when silence feels heavier than thunder. And that's when the sky knows it's time to break. June. If we go down, we go down loud. Ben's apartment. Early evening, a knock at the door. 3 soft taps. Not urgent, but intentional. Ben moves cautiously, wiping his hands on a dish towel. He peeks through the peephole. A woman stands there, mid-30s, holding a press badge and a small voice recorder. He opens the door halfway. Reporter Ben Whitaker. "Ben, who's asking?" Reporter Jessica Lai, Local News 6. "I'm not here to pressure you. I'm here because people are listening. We've been following the anonymous posts, the video, the termination pattern, and now the lawsuit." Ben doesn't answer. Just stares. Reporter, Con TD. "Off the record, your story could help a lot of people feel seen, especially if you talk as a father." Ben. "That's the problem." Reporter. "Excuse me?" Ben, "I am a father. I don't get to just fight. I have to protect." Living room. Moments later, they sit opposite each other, a mug of tea untouched on the table. Lily's drawing still taped to the wall behind Ben. The reporter flips her recorder over, doesn't press play. Reporter. "You don't have to go public with your face. We can use initials, voice distortion, just your words." Ben. "That won't stop them. If they want to find you, they will." Reporter. "And if you don't speak, how many more end up like June?" He looks away. Ben. "I don't know what's worse, being erased or being known too late." Reporter. "You're not alone anymore." Ben doesn't move. Some battles aren't against a man or a company. They're against the fear that telling the truth might cost you the one thing you swore to protect. He glances down the hall, toward Lily's room, and exhales. Ben hesitates, afraid for Lily's safety. Social media feed. Montage scroll of screens. A Facebook post. Is the dishwasher telling the truth or just bitter? A local blog. Employee files lawsuit against respected business owner. Twitter. Diner drama. An Instagram story. A photo of June captioned, "Troublemaker or truth teller?" June's apartment. Night. June slams her laptop shut, hands trembling. Her phone buzzes on the table, a flood of messages. One stands out, unlisted number. "Hope you enjoy being unemployed. You asked for this. Diner, break room." Same night, a printed meme is taped to the fridge. June the journalist, serving tea instead of tables. Ben rips it down. No one looks up. Ben's apartment. Next morning, Ben scrolls through his inbox. "We've withdrawn your application. We will not be moving forward." He stares at the screen, unmoving. Then closes the laptop. Elementary school. Afternoon. Lily stands alone at recess. A group of girls whisper, pointing toward her. One mimics a crying face. She walks away. Apartment, living room. That evening, Lily pushes her dinner around on the plate. Ben watches her, unease growing. "Ben, you okay?" She doesn't answer. Ben, gently. "Did something happen at school?" Lily lifts her eyes, not angry, just small. Lily. "Are they being mean to us? Because of you?" Ben's breath catches. He doesn't know what to say. Sometimes the truth doesn't echo. It ricochets, and when it hits your child, you question whether silence might have been the softer path. Lily asks if they're being bullied because of him. Ben's apartment. Night. The glow of the television flickers across the room. Ben sits on the edge of the couch, remote in hand, June beside him, both watching the local news segment. The anchor speaks in that carefully crafted tone. Neutral, rehearsed, TV anchor, OS. In a surprise move, Kenton Holdings has released a formal apology following allegations made by a former dishwasher and waitress. Let's take a look. On TV, pre-recorded statement. Marcus Kenton, clean-shaven and confident, sits behind a polished desk. Framed photos behind him. Family, philanthropy, business awards. Marcus, TV. At Kenton Holdings, we care deeply about our staff. We regret that a few employees felt their experience didn't reflect that. We are reviewing our internal practices. He offers a light chuckle. Marcus, con to D. Sometimes emotions run high, especially from those under pressure. We offer forgiveness and hope to move forward. TV Anchor, OS. The company has declined further comment at this time. Ben turns off the TV. The room goes quiet. Heavy. Ben. Did he just forgive me? June. He just flipped the narrative. Ben stands, pacing now, jaw clenched. Ben. He made me sound like I lost control. Like I snapped June. He made himself the calm one. The parent. You? The problem child. Ben stops pacing, fists balled at his sides. Ben, we gave them truth, June. He gave the public comfort. You gave them discomfort. They always choose comfort. Ben looks down at his hands, calloused, worn, shaking slightly. June, softly. He's using your dignity against you. Ben doesn't respond. He just sinks into the couch, eyes burning, the weight of perception pressing harder than fact. The most dangerous apology isn't the one you never hear. It's the one that rewrites who you were to make them look merciful. June. He's using your dignity against you. Ben's apartment. Late night, no sound. Just the creak of the floorboards under Ben's steps as he paces the small living room. The lights are off except for a dim lamp near the window. Its bulb flickers now and then like it's deciding whether to give up too. On the couch, a suitcase sits half-zipped. A shirt, a toothbrush, socks. A photograph of Ben, Lily, and Sarah tucked carefully inside a shoe. Ben picks up Lily's crayon drawing from the fridge, stares at it, smiling stick figures. A son. The words, me and Daddy. We're strong. His fingers tremble. He folds the paper once, then again, then shoves it into the side pocket of the suitcase. He runs his hands through his hair, exhales through clenched teeth. Lily's room, same time Lily, stirs in her sleep. She sits up groggy. Lily, Daddy? Living room. Moments later, Lily appears in the hallway, holding her blanket. Sees the suitcase. Sees his shoulders hunched. Lily, are we leaving? Ben turns slowly. His face is worn, more than tired. Hollow. Ben, no. Just packing early, just in case. She walks over, wraps her arms around his waist. Lily. You look like you lost something. He swallows. Ben. Maybe I did. She hugs him tighter. Lily, you didn't lose us. We still believe you. He kneels down, arms wrapped around her so tightly it looks like he's holding the last part of himself together. Rock bottom isn't the moment you break. It's the moment someone small reminds you that you're not broken beyond repair. Lily hugs him tightly. We still believe you. Ben's apartment. Morning lights. Soft golden light spills through the window. A gentle breeze shifts the thin curtain. The apartment feels still, but not heavy. Not today. Ben sits at the table with Lily, helping her color in a worksheet with dull crayons. There's a peace in his silence. Not surrender, but the kind of quiet that comes just before the storm breaks in your favor. There's a knock at the door. Ben rises slowly, wary but calm. He opens it. It's June. Hair pulled back, dark circles under her eyes, but something bright behind them, a subtle fire. She holds out her phone. June, turn on the TV. Now. Living room. Moments later, screen lights up. A news anchor speaks with urgency, TV, Anchor OS. And breaking this morning, leaked recordings from a local franchise under Kenton Holdings have surfaced online, sparking outrage from former employees and the public. Ben watches, stunned, as his own voice plays faintly under the broadcast. TV Anchor, Con TD. The recording appears to show a supervisor preventing a father from attending his daughter's school event. With over 10,000 shares in less than an hour, Ben turns to June. Ben, that's the full clip? June, that's just the beginning. The full package is scheduled for tonight. Prime time, all of it, the firings, the memos, the payouts. He leans back against the couch, breathes in. Lily peers around the corner, still holding a crayon. Lily, is something happening? Ben smiles at her, then looks back at June. Ben, quiet, steady. Let's finish this. June nods. No more fear in her eyes, only purpose. When enough is enough, there's no going back. Only forward, with every scar turned into a banner. He nods. Let's finish this news studio. Evening studio lights blaze. Cameras roll. The backdrop glows with the channel's logo, but tonight, it's not just news. It's a reckoning. Ben sits across from a respected local anchorwoman, microphone pinned to his worn shirt. He looks nervous but steady. Behind the scenes, June watches through the glass. Next to her, Lily clutches a stuffed animal, her legs swinging under the chair. Anchorwoman. Tonight, we're joined by Ben Harrow, former dishwasher at Bell's Brunch House, whose story has sparked a wave of public support. Ben, thank you for joining us. Ben, thank you for letting me speak, Anchorwoman. Let's start with the day you were fired. Ben, gentle, calm. I defended a friend, a waitress who was being mistreated by someone I thought was just another entitled customer. Turns out, he was my boss. Clips play on screen. Secretly recorded footage of the argument, screenshots of shift schedules, withheld pay stubs. Ben, Con TD. We weren't loud because we were angry. We were loud because nobody would listen. The studio goes quiet for a beat. Anchorwoman. Why speak now? Ben, because silence protects the powerful. I want my daughter to know her dad didn't let fear define him. Corporate boardroom. Same time, Marcus Kenton stands in a high-rise office, watching the segment on a wall-mounted screen. Executives shift uncomfortably behind him. Phones buzz. Emails ping. Anchorwoman VO. The full set of documents and employee testimonies will be published tonight on our site. Marcus, turn it off. A trembling intern fumbles for the remote. You can't silence the truth. You can only delay the echo. Marcus watching from a boardroom. Jaw tight. Kenton Holdings. Boardroom. Night. The silence after the broadcast is deafening. Marcus stands at the head of a long glass table. Around him, a circle of suits, shareholders, VPs, and legal counsel. The city lights shimmer behind them, but the glow doesn't reach the tension in the room. A board member taps her pen on the table. It echoes like a countdown. Board member number 1. You said it was handled, Marcus. It was. This was supposed to be buried months ago. Board member number 2. Well, it's not buried. It's gone viral. Front page. Thousands of comments. Public boycott calls. An assistant rushes in, handing a tablet to the COO. Assistant, the internal Slack leaks just hit Reddit. They've got screenshots, COO, and the voice recording. Your voice, Marcus, dismissing that dishwasher and his brat like they were rodents. Marcus stiffens, jaw clenched. Marcus, we've weathered worse. This'll pass. Board member number 1. Not this time. You embarrassed the brand. You exposed the company to lawsuits. Not just from Ben, from half the damn staff. They slide a folder across the table. A formal letter. Board member number 2. Step back, publicly, or we vote. He glares around the table, eyes scanning for loyalty. Finds none. Marcus, you think you can run this company without me? COO. We're not sure we can survive it with you. Sometimes power doesn't crumble. It's taken away, one signature at a time. Marcus's power is finally questioned. You're no longer untouchable, Ben's apartment. Late-night rain taps gently on the window. Ben sits on the worn-out couch, watching Lily fall asleep beside a picture book. He tucks a blanket around her, then heads to the door. Another knock. It's June, holding a thin envelope. June came through the studio. Said it was for you. No return address. She looks curious but doesn't pry. Ben takes it. Nods. Kitchen table. Moments later, Ben slices the envelope open carefully. Inside, a folded letter on parchment-like paper. And a check. Ben, reading aloud, softly. To the man who reminded me why I opened my first restaurant. He stops, blinks. Ben, conted. This company forgot that it was built on the backs of people like you. My son runs it now. Poorly, but not for long. Flash to handwritten signature. Eleanor Kenton, founder. The original owner. Long retired. But watching. Ben turns over the letter. A handwritten P.S. catches his eye. Take care of your daughter, and maybe open your own place someday. I'd come. He unfolds the check. The amount makes him freeze. Not just hush money, it's a seed. Restoration isn't just apology, it's setting something right. With interest, Ben exhales, then laughs. Quietly. Like hope just knocked for the first time in years. Ben unfolds a check. His name is on it. Montage. Various locations. Morning light. Soft piano music plays under a warm sunrise glow. Empty diner. Early morning. Rusty closed sign is flipped to open. Same walls, new soul. Ben, in a clean white apron, adjusts the row of coffee mugs. Beside him, Lily, in a mini apron, scribbles "Today's Specials" on a chalkboard. Pancakes for the brave. Diner, new sign above Dora. Fresh wooden sign now reads, "Lily's Table, where everyone's welcome." Painted by hand. Letters a little uneven. Perfect kitchen. Continuous. June cracks eggs into a sizzling skillet. She moves with joy. A far cry from the jittery waitress we first met. The bell over the door jingles. First customer enters. Then another. And another, a construction worker. A young mom. An elderly man with a cane. They're greeted by Ben's quiet smile. The kind that says, "I see you, and I'm glad you're here." Sidewalk. Later, a local newspaper boy slaps a paper on the rack. Fired dishwasher opens community diner. Gets anonymous backing from Kenton founder. Diner. Office. Corner, a small corkboard hangs near the back. On it, a copy of Eleanor Kenton's letter. Next to it, Lily's drawing of Daddy cooking. And beneath it, a help wanted sign. This time, the name at the bottom reads, Ben Harrow, owner. Sometimes you have to be broken to be rebuilt right. A new help wanted sign, with Ben's name at the bottom. Luxury Rehab Center. Visitor's room. Day-muted sunlight filters through frosted glass. Minimalist decor. Sterile comfort. Marcus sits at the edge of a recliner, fidgeting. Hair disheveled. Eyes puffy. No boardroom armor now, just a man whose kingdom has crumbled. A soft knock. Ben enters. Clean shirt, steady eyes, no anger in his step, just calm purpose. Marcus stands halfway. Marcus. You didn't have to come. Ben. I know. A long pause. Marcus. Is this about revenge? Humiliation? Ben shakes his head. Ben. It's about release. Mine, not yours. Marcus exhales, rubs his face. Marcus. I didn't see you. Not really. I just saw a threat to what I thought I built. Ben and I didn't see the scared little boy behind the empire. Marcus looks up, startled. Ben, Conte D. Everyone's trying to prove something. But some of us forget who we're proving it to. Silence. Then Ben does something unexpected. He extends his hand. Ben, I forgive you. Marcus doesn't take it immediately. Tears build. Shoulders sink. Marcus, choked whisper. Why? Ben, because I refuse to carry your shame one more step. Forgiveness isn't about them. It's about freeing ourselves from the echo of their weight. Marcus finally clasps the hand, not as rivals, as broken men trying to start over. Marcus hears the one thing he never expected. I forgive you. Lily's bedroom. Early morning. Sunlight spills across fairy lights and crayon drawings taped to the wall. A sleepy Lily stretches in bed, rubbing her eyes. Ben, OS. Rise and shine, kiddo. Pancake day. Kitchen. Moments later, Ben, flipping pancakes in the kitchen, hums an old tune. Lily stands on a stool beside him, stirring batter like it's a mission. Lily, are we making the funny face ones? Ben, only the best for my business partner. She giggles. Lily's table diner closed for the day. The lights are off, chairs stacked, but Ben sets one small table near the window. 2 plates, 2 mugs of cocoa. Father and daughter sit, just them. Lily, do you like being the boss? Ben, I like being your dad more. She grins, then picks up a syrup bottle with dramatic flair. Lily, to us, the pancake people. They clink syrup bottles like champagne. Montage. Time passes softly. Ben tying Lily's shoes before school. Lily leaving him a sticky note. Don't forget lunch, Mr. Owner. A customer hugging Ben at the counter. A new chalkboard outside. Today's special, second chances. Living room, night. Ben and Lily cuddle on the couch. Movie on, popcorn between them. She dozes off slowly. Lily, mumbling, "You're my hero, Daddy." Ben stares ahead. Breath catches. He leans down, kisses her forehead. Some dreams don't need mansions or money. Just a little girl who sees you and believes. Lily falls asleep whispering, "You're my hero." Community center. Evening, a small-town event. Foldable chairs, homemade banners. Local heroes celebration, nominated by the people. Families fill the room. Locals chat over punch and cookies. Ben sits near the back, quietly uncomfortable in his button-down shirt. Lily, however, is practically vibrating with excitement beside him. On stage, a host steps to the mic. Host. And our final recognition tonight comes from a very special writer. She's only 7, and she insisted on reading it herself. A gentle laugh from the crowd. Lily skips toward the podium holding a crumpled paper. Her pigtails bounce. Lily. Hi, I'm Lily. And I wrote about my daddy. Gasps, whispers ripple as people recognize Ben. Lily, Contidi. My daddy used to wash dishes. Then he stood up for my friend Miss June. And then everyone found out the mean customer was someone important. But my daddy still didn't yell. He stayed kind. Ben's face softens. His jaw tightens. Lily, Contidi. He says pancakes can fix anything. But I think it's him that fixes things. He made my world better. Choked up silence. Lily, Contidi. So, I just wanted to say, my daddy's my hero, even if he gets syrup on his shirt. Laughter breaks the silence. Then a standing ovation. Ben lowers his head. Overwhelmed, humbled. He claps slowly, eyes brimming. Angle, back of the room. Eleanor Kenton, in a plain sweater, stands among the crowd. She claps too. Then, quietly, she wipes a tear. Sometimes the loudest victories come from the smallest voices. Eleanor watches proudly from the back and wipes a tear. Small town street, morning light birds chirp. Shops open. A dog trots past the flower stall. Ben, in a clean apron, sweeps the front steps of the diner. The new sign reads, Lily's Table, home of the pancake people. Inside, customers chatter. The place hums. Diner continuous. The walls now hold framed thank you notes, kid drawings, a photo of Ben and Lily, and one faded newspaper clipping titled, Dishwasher with a Heart. The story that changed Kenton's policy. At the counter, June flips pages in her new community cookbook, titled From scraps to soul food. Marcus Kenton walks in, clean-shaven. No security. Ben greets him without hesitation. Ben coffee? Marcus, genuine. Only if it comes with peace. Ben nods. They share a quiet understanding. Lily peeks out from the back. Lily. Daddy! Someone's here for a tour. Ben walks over, crouches to her level. Ben. You ready to show them what we built? She nods proudly. Diner. Later Lily guides a family through the diner, narrating each moment like a museum docent. Ben watches from inside, hand resting on the counter, face lit with soft pride. He didn't build a restaurant. He built a place where people were seen, heard, loved. He built what he never had, and gave it freely. A group photo is taken on the sidewalk. June, Ben, Lily, the community. Final shot. Newly painted wooden sign above the doorway. Home of the pancake people, built with love.